Today on the anime preview, I'll be looking at 4 more new shows. One about gangs, one about trousers, one about pyjamas, and one about a bunch of nubbles. But which one's which? And do you know which one I'm going to like best? Let's be honest, of course you do. Bare pyjamas over nubbles any day. But which one do you like best? That's what I want to know. Let me know in the comments what you think of them. While I look at these 4 new shows and let you know why you should watch them, or why you should avoid them, or why I just don't like them. Because this is a 2020 autumn anime preview, from a different perspective. Ibukuro Westgate Park, or IWGP as I'm going to be calling it, is a gang-based action drama series taking place in Ikebukuro, a place made famous by the best gal, Mami. Much better than Ran Kotobuki will be any day. But IWGP is very much a gang-based anime, and you've got a main character, Mikoto, who is just this guy on his own, running the streets. I would say fighting crime, but it's just a guy putting his nose into things. The entire first episode is more about policing the streets from drug crime, as they decide to go out and bust this one shop selling loads of drugs illegally, but has been unable to get caught by the police because they've got cover stories and they're selling herbs in general, not drugs. I mean, the way they actually catch the guys in the end and the rest of them is a bit iffy. I mean, yes, they were criminals, yes, they were doing it wrong, but planting drugs in the shop is only going to lead to question marks later on. Good luck prosecuting, although I will be honest, the fact they were growing drugs, yeah, that goes against them in a lot of ways. I've heard a lot of people comparing this one to Durara, and I can see why. It's the same sort of style, the same sort of setting. It's very much a gang-based drama with loads of interesting looking characters, none of which really stuck in my head. In fact, the only 2 which stuck in my head really were the main character Makoto and Takashi, the so-called king of the G-Boys, a gang of vigilante type self-policing people in the Westgate of Ikebukuro Park. The other main thing I took away from this anime was that smoking kills, because there wasn't much smoking going on in the entire first episode, and in fact, the main character is wearing a big t-shirt with the word "smoking kills" written all over it. I thought that's pretty cool, especially after that rapping anime early on in the season, where every single character was smoking because it looked cool. This anime is just telling it true, smoking does kill. Now I can definitely see there being a fan base for this type of show. If you like Durara, you'll probably end up liking this one. This one actually predates Durara, and a lot of people say that Durara is sort of inspired by this light novel itself. But it's not a type of anime for me. It's too gritty for me. I mean, it's not bad, it's got promise, but it's not the type of anime I enjoy watching. But if you like Durara and that type of show, go for it. You'll love this. If you do want to try this one, it's airing over at Funimation. Now, we were talking a moment ago about shows which are really not meant for me. Well, this one is not that. Kuma Bear is a show very much for me. Kuma Bear is a show about a girl in an MMO. Now, at the moment she's not stuck in an MMO, although the way things go in anime you never know. But Kuma Bear is about a girl called Yuna who plays an MMO and plays it in a bear suit. Literally bare pyjamas. She's got bare pyjamas, she's got bare gloves, bare fists. No, not bare fists, but bare fists. Her fists are in bare puppets. She got bare boots, she rides and can summon a pair of bears, Kumayura and Kumakyu, who are absolutely freaking adorable. And no barefaced lie here, this is a fun looking anime. It's an attractive looking anime as well. The designs in particular I absolutely love. I mean, Oniku, the artist behind the character designs, love the artists that they do anyway. They did the artist in Devil is a Part-Time as well, and that was a beautiful anime in terms of characters. And Oniku has really excelled themselves here as well, because Yuna and the entire cast of Kuma Bear are very appealing to look at. But is the anime any good? Well, so far, it's fun. It's hard to really describe whether or not it's good or not, because the first episode is very much just her doing a quest. She's doing a quest to fight off this really big snake terrorising this one town. All the high-level adventurers are gone and nobody else can save the town except her. Unfortunately, no one's taking her seriously, because if you saw this girl just wearing this really cute bare pyjamas, would you trust her in order to save the village from this evil snake which is killing everyone? Probably not. But you'll be wrong, because Yuna is brilliant. She's got strange bare fireballs from her bare fists, great bare magic. She really is going to fight with all of the bare necessities of life. And the other great thing about the anime, Kuma Bear is really, really fun to say. Go on, say it yourself. Kuma, Kuma, Kuma Bear. Whatever you do though, do not shorten it, because it's got one of those names which is fun to say, it's fun to write down, but if I try and shorten it, it's completely wrong in more ways than one. There's probably a whole lot more going on with this show, because it can't just be about a girl wearing a bear pyjamas fighting in an MMO, because that'd be a boring show. There's got to be some kind of plot going on in the background. But so far we don't see it. We know she's a rich girl who's super intelligent. We see her getting out of bed doing stock trading. Why is she doing stock trading? I have no idea. But she just gets out of bed just to do some stock trading and then goes back into bed and goes back into the MMO. Now Kuma 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 Bear shows a lot of promise. I'm really going to lap this one up. Even if you don't like cute things, I urge you to give this episode one try because it's interesting. You just have to sit down and grin and bear it. And you can do so on Funimation. Next up you've got Noblesse, or Nobbles as I'm going to be calling it. It's a show about super strong, pretty boys in school in Japan. I really don't know much about it because I tried to watch it and I really could not pay any attention to it because there's so much going on underneath the scenes, but they weren't really telling you what was going on. There was a bunch of pretty boy bad guys, I'm assuming they're bad guys, fighting some guys in a jungle. It reminded me a lot of Symphony Axis' opening with the fighting in the jungle, but with less comedy, just more pretty boys and less singing. And for the life of me, I have no idea why they were doing that because they don't really take part in most of the rest of the episode. The rest of the episode is about this redhead in school who got his arm injured, and this one other guy who enters his classroom and all the girls in school basically look the same. They're all just in love with him and just take photos of him as he walks down school. Sure, that's got to be practical. And an invasion of his privacy as well. I mean, sure, yeah, Prince Yuki gets a lot of attention as well, but the Prince Yuki fan club has got a distance. They don't randomly take photos of him while just going about his day-to-day life. Or at least we assume they don't anyway, we probably do. But Nobbles is a show very much about pretty boys fighting. And pretty boys getting to know other pretty boys. It's definitely a show made for Joshi in mind. And a show which really, no reason why I'm paying attention to it. The main thing which happens in the first episode is this big birdie guy is upset that his missus has taken a fancy to a redheaded guy. Most notably because the redheaded guy, on the way to school, helped the pretty lady because she tripped up and was about to fall in front of a truck and get transported to another world. And so he saves her in a polite way, but a polite pretty boy way. And so she basically falls head over heels for him and is flirting with him even when the big boy boyfriend is coming over to school trying to protect his woman's honour and beat up all the kids in school. Because, yeah, of course the big pretty boy turns around and saves the day, as the pretty boy would do. I can't actually remember his name, to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. Master, I think, is what he called himself. He's also got a friend in school called Franken, probably Frankenstein. Either that or just a German who likes his beer. And there's a lot of nothing going on here. It gives me the worst kind of pretty boy monsters vibe about it. This is very much a Twilight anime, and I'm not buying it. But if you do want to watch pretty boys be pretty boys and not much else, you can find Nobbles over at Crunchyroll. Lastly today, we are fighting the war against trousers, because we're back in the skies above Europe, and this time it's with the 501st again, as we're in Season 3 of Strike Witches, Strike Witches Road to Berlin. Now, I enjoyed the last season of Strike Witches to a point. Brave Witches was iffy, but Strike Witches and Strike Witches Season 2 were great. The comedy short was terrible, and I will be honest, I've not seen the movie. Hopefully it doesn't bother me too much, even though there's apparently a character in this from a movie which I've not met properly, and she's just there as a matter of fact. Thankfully this episode doesn't really feature her. This episode just features two of the main characters. It features Mio, who is wearing trousers, let that think in a moment, and our main character, Yoshika, who is studying medicine. Sure, she can use healing magic, but she's studying medicine because if her magic ever goes away again, which apparently she got it back somehow, probably in the movie, she wants to be able to do medicine again, rather than just using healing magic. And that's very much a Yoshika thing to do. She's very much about helping others first, and thinking about herself second. Now all the other characters do sort of make a cameo appearance in this episode as well. We get to see them in passing, clips of them here and there. But the one thing which really stood out to me to begin with this anime was how much heavy they're going on with fan service. I mean, Strike Witches was never exactly a prude show already, but within the first seconds of Strike Witches, we are getting a panty shot. And not just a panty shot, we are getting an up front, up close, in your face, pretty much staring at the underwear, this close to your face, panty shot of all of the girls flying in the sky. And whilst some of them, yeah, that's fine, some of them aren't exactly fan service friendly characters, let's put it that way. Now hopefully this is the only time I do that. We are really pushing the fan service and the lack of trousers hard in this series. because that was what sold in the original one. It was the bizarreness of these magical girls with ears and aeroplanes for feet fighting monsters over the skies of Europe. Hopefully it's more about the fighting side and more about the comedy and less about the fan service. Although as long as they let Perrine give me some growl service, that's fine by me as well. Perrine fan service and Perrine growl service is definitely more than welcome. I will say, after the first episode, Strike Witches is a return to form. This season 3 is very much a sequel to season 2 and 1, so if you've not seen those, you're probably not going to really like this one much, because why the hell would you start a series in season 3? But it's not terrible, it's not Brave Witches again. I, for one, welcome back to our brave heroes, our Strike Witches, the 501st Aerial Witches Squadron, as they fight off a Neurai over Europe and inevitably make it to Berlin. If you do want to continue the war on pants, you can find it, of course, over at Funimation. I normally use the outro to talk about the 4 shows which I've reviewed today. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to use the outro just to say, Kuma 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 Bear, 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 Kuma 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 Chameleon. That's not bear. Whatever, join me next time. Bye bye.